Welcome to Proven and Probable. I'm your host, Maurice Jackson. If you enjoy the value proposition of silver, stay tuned for today's interview because we believe we may have the next pure silver play in the United States. And as an added bonus, there will be a finance opportunity for accredited investors. Joining us for a conversation is Lawrence Roulston of Lakewood Exploration. Mr. Roulston, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, Maurice. It's great to be here. Appreciate your interest in the project.
Well, it's great to have you join us today to share the exciting value proposition before us on what may become the next pure silver play in the United States. And as an added bonus to audience members, we have a special announcement at the end of today's interview, so be sure to stay tuned. Before we begin, Mr. Roulston, please introduce us to Lakewood Exploration and the opportunity the company presents to shareholders.
Lakewood is an exploration company. It's publicly traded in Canada here. We're just embarking on a whole new strategy. So we've just announced a new acquisition, which is going to dramatically change the direction of the company. And as you pointed out, it's going to become a pure silver exploration. And in short order, we hope and believe it will become a silver production story.
Yeah, it sounds quite intriguing, and we're going to get to the details of that acquisition here shortly. But before we do, Mr. Roulston, take us to British Columbia, and let's begin with highlighting Lakewood Exploration's initial asset, the Lacey property, and then share with us the company's growth strategy.
Well, Lacey is a gold exploration project in southern British Columbia. It's located on Vancouver Island, not far from Vancouver. Over the last few months, there was some exploration work carried out on the project. There was some sampling. The samples are in the lab right now. We're waiting for assays. And as we get the assays back from the lab, we will determine the next phase of work that we will conduct on that project.
Now, in reference to those assays, when should the market receive results?
Well, the assay labs are notoriously backed up right now. In some cases, it's taken months to get assays back from the labs. We're just coming out of the winter season now. It's been a little bit quieter, but it's still going to take probably a couple of months before we're able to actually publish assays from that program.
Leaving one elephant country and on to another. I referenced pure silver play in the introduction. Let's find out more. In today's press release, Lakewood has announced the acquisition of Silver Hammer Mining, which hosts the past-producing Silver Strand Mine located in Idaho. And in the press release, Lakewood has announced a concurrent financing, which we will discuss later. Before we go on site, please share the details of the acquisition with us.
Silver Hammer is a private company. It's run by some very knowledgeable people in the mining industry. They've spent the past year consolidating a very exciting property, a 5-kilometer trend in Idaho's Silver Valley. Lakewood is acquiring the private company in return for 7.8 million shares. That will give Lakewood 100% control over the projects that are currently held by Silver Hammer. It's a very exciting acquisition. There are 2 past-producing mines on the property and a lot of exploration potential in the trend between those mines. The mines only went down to about 90 meters. Other deposits in the Silver Valley have been mined down to 2,000 meters. So there's exploration potential along the trend, and the whole zone beneath that very shallow area that was mined is wide open. And we believe that there's potential for this deposit to extend to depth, as is the case in the other large mines along the trend in the Silver Valley.
Mr. Roulston, we've had some intermittent issues here with Skype. Can you confirm that was 90? Is that 90 meters?
Correct, 90 meters.
Now, what is the goal for Lakewood on the Silver Strand project?
Well, we have 2 major objectives. First, there's a known deposit around the area of the old mine workings. We want to investigate the potential for near-term production. We believe that's a realistic expectation, And a very important part of the early work that we do on this project will be to further investigate, to confirm the grades and the tonnages that are presently in place, to check out the old workings. Now, when it last produced, the ore was toll treated at a mill not too far away. So we will refresh all those arrangements and look at the trucking and all the other details. So that's one objective, is the potential for near-term production. But the real prize on this project will be to demonstrate the large-scale exploration potential. If we're right, and this deposit is like the other deposits on the trend in the same geological setting, the depth potential is huge, and this could become another large Silver Valley mining opportunity. So we've got those two objectives: near-term production and investigating the potential for a large deposit that could be of interest to for a much larger production scenario than has ever been contemplated.
Now, the Silver Strand project is located in a prolific jurisdiction known for high grade and tonnage silver. Let's go on site and please acquaint us with your location, your new neighbors, and the project highlights.
Well, the Silver Valley of Idaho is one of the most prolific mining districts in the world for silver. It's already produced 1.2 billion ounces of silver, and it's still going strong. Just to give a flavor of some of the mines in the area, Hecla's Lucky Friday mine has produced 19 million ounces of silver. Hecla's involvement in the Silver Valley goes back 125 years. The Galena mine produced 100 million ounces, and the Sunshine mine has produced 362 million ounces of silver. So this is definitely elephant country in terms of silver deposits. As I noted earlier, the Silver Strand project occupies 5 kilometers along that trend. It has the same geology that hosts those other large deposits. It also has the same structural feature. It's located along a feature known as the Osborne Fault that has hosted some of the biggest silver mines in the Silver Valley. And those two mines that previously produced silver demonstrates very clearly the presence of silver veins on the property, which look very much like the other silver veins in the district, but they never got around to exploring at depth. So it's total blue sky potential below that very shallow zone that was examined and mined historically.
So the Silver Strand has a past producing mine. Why has it been inactive?
Well, it was one of these situations where it was a small mine and they were never able to break out of that hand-to-mouth situation that so many small mines find themselves in. The focus was always on getting next week's production into the mill, and they never stepped back and carried out exploration built around a big picture view of a geological story. And the other part of it, which is very important, is that there were multiple individual properties that were operated independent from one another. So it made it difficult logistically and in terms of seeing the big picture to really carry out a proper exploration program. So it wasn't until the Silver Hammer people put together these different pieces of the property and began to consolidate the information, and were able to look at it really from a larger picture perspective, that the exploration potential really started to stand out.
Hello, I'm Maurice Jackson, here to remind you to click the like button, make sure you subscribe, and click the bell so you stay up to date on all of our notifications. Now, back to the interview. Is the Silver Strand project currently 43101 compliant?
No. There is a current resource, there is a historic resource on the property, but it's definitely not a compliant resource. And until we do a lot of confirmatory work around that, which will include drilling and getting some fresh drill holes into it and proper assays and QA, QC procedures around the handling of the samples, that we'll be able to talk about what is presently there. We know that there is mineralized material within reach of the past producing underground workings, but as I say, it's going to take a fair amount of work on our part to verify and consolidate that information and to step out and extend beyond the known area.
Is the goal also to twin those holes?
Well, I'm not sure that we will twin specific holes as much as we will design an exploration program around just really beginning from scratch to build a resource. Some of the workings provide access to those blocks of, let's call them, mineralized material, and we will be able to get underground and sample them directly on the faces. And we will be putting drill holes through them to provide the information that we need to develop a proper resource estimate.
When will work begin on the Silver Strand, and when can we expect news flow?
Work is underway as we speak. The people at Silver Hammer have been working on this project for a year now. They're presently consolidating the information. All of this historic information on this project is in paper form. So they've got a team at work digitizing all that information, compiling it, pulling it all together, and getting it into a proper database that can form the starting point to continue the exploration program. The next major step on the ground, obviously we're going to get underground and we're going to sample and do it and map it. But the next big step will be to begin a drill program, which is scheduled to get underway late this summer. And that drilling will have two major objectives. Number one, as I alluded to earlier, will be confirmation of the known zones, and then stepping out from the areas of the known mineralization to see if we can put together a resource in and around the old workings. The second phase of that drill program that's going to get underway this summer will be to begin to look below the known area and start to get a sense of what's at depth on this project. So there will be a number of holes that test under the area of the old workings and begin to tell us what it looks like down there.
Leaving the property bank, let's meet the people that are responsible for increasing shareholder value. Mr. Roulston, please introduce us to your impressive management team.
Well, the driving force in this project is Warwick Smith. Warwick is a master at putting people, projects, and money together. He's had a couple of big successes. And the geological team that he has put together within in Silver Hammer includes Ron Burke. Ron is the former VP Exploration for Silver Standard. And Phil Mulholland, who was formerly the chief geologist at Barrick's Gold and Sunlight Mine. These guys really understand this type of geology. They've worked in the Western United States extensively, and they've spent a lot of time now looking at this project and pulling together this historic information and modeling it and putting together this picture of larger scale potential. In addition to that geological talent, there are several other people who will become part of the team once the merger is completed between Lakewood and Silver Hammer, that bring a range of mining industry skills. So we will have a team that has a lot of depth and a lot of breadth that cover the range of skills needed to carry a project like this forward.
Switching gears, let's look at some numbers. Mr. Roulston, please share the capital structure for Lakewood Exploration.
It has about 11 million shares outstanding. After completion of the acquisition of Silver Hammer and the financing that we'll talk about in a moment, Lakewood will have about 30 million shares out. The 7.8 million shares that will be issued for the acquisition will be escrowed. The financing is going to be $3.5 million Canadian, which will be at 25 cents a share with a half warrant at 50 cents. So when all of that's completed, we'll have $3 million of cash. We'll have 30 million shares out. Very tight share structure with some very influential shareholders who are committed to helping us achieve the success that we're all anticipating with this project.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are a accredited investor and you wish to participate in the financing, please email investor@thesilverhammer.ca. That's investor@thesilverhammer.ca. Proven and Probable will participate in the financing. We do receive a finder's fee, and we are biased, and we do ask that you please reference today's interview on Proven and Probable. Mr. Roulston, it's a pleasure speaking with you today. Wishing you and Lakewood Exploration the absolute best, sir.
Thank you for your interest in the project, and look forward to keeping you up to date as we progress.
The information presented on Proven and Probable is provided for educational and informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. The information is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice, or any other advice. You should not make any financial, investment, or trading decision based on any of the information presented without first undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or competent financial advisor.